Hey folks, how y'all doing? Trent Clark here with Mallett Buildings. Happy Monday to you. We got a good show today. On Mondays we like to, Daryl likes to come on the show. So what we got today is nailed or screwed. The differences and why it matters. And it does matter. We'll let Daryl talk about that here in a little while. Right now you get, always we like to start out with $500 discount. Military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people looking for a building, make sure you grab your extra $500 discount, folks. Free money. Grab it. Take advantage of that. Now, if you want to upgrade to a signature on an elite building, type in cash to a live feed just like this one and get an extra $1,000 off your elite building. Now, giveaway. We got the box here. It came in. Let's see. Got the box. See, let's check it out. Here we go. This thing right here is awesome. That thing is awesome, I'm telling you. Anyway, so make sure the giveaway is August 26th. You have to like, follow, and share, okay? Now, the key is the more you, do something, let's see, you must follow the page. The more you comment, so the more you engage in some of these comments and add and do all this stuff, the better off, the better chance you got to win that fancy thing. Waterproof and everything. And it's really not that heavy. It's a pretty cool little box right here. Make sure y'all engage yourself and start pushing all of our stuff on our page. Anyway, more to come about that. We'll get back to that. Now, where are we at this week? I told y'all this is my new favorite slide. Where are we at this week? Let's see. Katy, Texas, Dayton, New Ulm, Winnie, Church Point, Welsh, Belrose, St. Martin, Ioway, Sulphur, Minden, New Iberia. All right, we got a good amount of buildings being built this week. I'm going to try to give you this every week, folks, so you can see that it's worth the wait. This is how many buildings that we're building and delivering each week. So understand that to get the best building, you have to wait for it, because what we do is our competitors just can't do, folks. We've been in this business for 26 years and we're not stagnant. We continue to improve our processes, just like the 2x8 scissor truss that they cannot make and they cannot buy. All right. Now, let's see, this week's special, okay? We got this one again. It's a 30 by 30 by 12 for $56,650, but that's not it. You get a 10 by 55 rear awning. You get an 8 by 8 gable front porch, two 36 walk-through doors, one French door, one 8 by 18 roll-up door, two 3 by 5 windows, 4-year workmanship warranties, two 3 by 3 windows, 5 on 12 roof pitch, standard on a classic building. 2 by 8 vaulted truss, scissor truss, however you want to call them. Most people know a vaulted truss. I call them a scissor truss because that's what we make here. Anyway, superior to anything else out there, folks. Our competitors just can't do this. All right, this building is 30 mile an hour wind rating, 26 gauge metal standard, concrete on every hole, in every hole, under the post, okay? 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete. All right, this is what the building looks like. Kind of like a little, what we like to call a conversion. You're converting it to you're buying an accessory building and converting it to like a camp or maybe a little barndominium. All right, so the next classic building we have on special, and this one you have to call in to find out what the special price is. 30 by 30 by 12, ask for our electrical package. Make sure, look folks, we can offer you a great deal on electrical packages, okay? You're not going to be able to find this deal anywhere. We're already putting up your buildings. Our electricians can go out there for a minimum price. Ask about the basic package. Building specialists tell you what you get in it and all that. Just make sure you ask. On this building, you get a 5 on 12 roof pitch, one 10 by 10 roll-up door, one 36-inch walk-through door, 4,000 PSI concrete. Remember, our competitors use 3,000. 4,000 is 33% stronger than 3,000. On top of that, we're going to throw in some microfiber. Remember, I told you, microfiber we can control. Why? Because we know how much microfiber we're putting in each yard of concrete. We understand that the mixing ratio to that is gonna give you an accurate volume strength, or volume, the amount of fiber that's going through the whole volume of your concrete. Imagine it like our competitors. Imagine if you used a wire mesh. Okay, if your slump's not right, slump means the consistency of your concrete. If it's not right, if they put too much water in it, which most of them do, that rusty wire mesh is going to sink to the bottom. You really don't know if it's sinking to the bottom. That's the problem. We like to take the guesswork out. Just a point I like to throw out there. 4-year workmanship warranty on this classic building, 130 mile an hour wind. Remember, standard 26 gauge metal, roof and wall, concrete under the post, 2x8, standard scissor truss. Cable retention system is unbeatable, folks. Especially when you're talking about hurricane or any type, just anywhere. You know, the cable retention system that we do here at Mallett is just, our competitors just can't even touch that. All right, so it's truly superior to anything else out there. Classic building, you got a 40 by 50 by 12, 5-on-12 roof pitch, 1 10 by 10 roll-up door, 1 36-inch walk-through door. Same as the classic building before, just a different size. Call our building specialists. Okay, what sets Mallett apart? Well, folks, we're 26 years experience. LA and Texas licensed engineering firm on staff, and a licensed engineering firm, registered engineered firm. Access to owner's cell phone on every contract. Okay, call our building specialists. They got a special price this week. Our elite package. Okay, remember, folks, this is the best of the best. We throw all the bells and whistles on this building. You get everything that the classic got, plus a whole lot more. I think we'll go over it in a minute. But you got number 1, kiln-dried lumber, engineered 2x8 scissor truss, 3-foot spacing, 9-foot post spacing, engineered mono truss. If you have a wing, we're not going to use rafters. We're going to actually in-house build our mono truss. Okay, 5-on-12 roof pitch, engineered cable retention system, concrete under every post. All right. 6-inch microfiber concrete. So now we're doing a 6-inch on the Elite, which is 2.5 times stronger than a 4-inch. Also, we're still going to use that 4,000 PSI, which is 33% stronger than our competitors, what they use. All right, so keep that in mind. Insulated roof and walls and windows, 26 gauge metal, 4x4 framework over windows and doors. We're going to ridge it up, all that. We're still going to do like our competitors. They do a 2x6 and a framework around there, but we're going to ridge it up even more. We're going to put a 4x4 where the walk-through doors and windows are. Zac Screws, gutter buses, wainscoting, continuous ridge vents, post protectors, 10-year workmanship warranty. So owner cell number, 26 years experience. I mean, folks, this is the best building in the industry. Now we got a special 30 by 50, 40 by 50, 40 by 60. Okay, what do you get? We're going to add in, okay, up to $17,000 value. Call in and find out what the price is, but you got a gable extension, and you get to pick your size doors. We normally charge more for the height of the doors, so we're going to let you pick your doors on this one. Okay. All right, still rocking this little Cajun Oasis. It's doing really good. We're selling them like hotcakes. You got a 20 by 30 by 12 for only $29,999. Why is it so popular? Well, it's an elite building, so it's the best building in the industry, number 1. Number 2, it comes with a electrical package. All right, so we're done, and then you're going to get a 3-ton HVAC, wall-mounted HVAC system. So basically, when we're done with this, folks, you can turn on the light, turn on the AC, and enjoy it. You can finish it out the best way you like. All right, so perfect for your backyard, your personal gym, workout, little cabin, little office. He said, she said, whatever. So now, 5 red flags. Years in business. You can find this out on the Secretary of State. Licensure. Look, people, doesn't it make sense to do business with somebody, first off, that has a business license for the state of Louisiana? Second off, doesn't it make sense to find out if they are a contractor? Because if not, they're not supposed to build your building. Okay? Number two, find out at the same place at the LSLBC, find out if they have any violations. I'm proud to say 26 years, we have none here at Mallett Building. We have no violations. All right, reviews on the BBB and Google. We have over 500 plus reviews on BBB and Google. Some of our competitors don't have any at all. So be aware of that. And then finally, visit the contractor's facility. It makes sense to me that you have at least an office to be able to sign your contract with. If you're in the front seat of a car or a truck, you know, it might be a red flag. I'm not picking on the people that's getting started, but they must not think that they're going to last long if they can't even have an office, even a home office. I'm just saying it might be a red flag, folks. Most people compare buildings like apples to oranges. Okay, don't forget, if you do have an apples to apple quote, bring it in. We'll give you $1,000. We'll beat it by $1,000. Don't forget that. Our buildings come with 2x8 scissor truss. Okay, standard. Nobody can do that. Nobody builds it. Nobody can do that. Why can we do that? Because we build our own truss here. We had a competitor today say something about no third party, or I forget exactly what they say, but everything they do is dependent on somebody else to build it for them. Unlike us, where we buy directly from the manufacturer when it comes to wood, we build our own truss. We're fixing to have our own roll form plant. All our design work is done in-house. Engineering work is done in-house, which you'll meet Darryl in a minute. So I don't know how they can say that, folks. If they can say that, if they can advertise that, what else might they be saying that might not be completely true? I don't know. You might want to think about that. 2x6 purling girts, 24 inch on center, 10-year workmanship warranty, lifetime ground treated lumber, #1 grade, MCA ground treated lumber. Dry kiln, that's very important. Okay, our competitors just don't do that. Double structure 2x12 carriers. That's something else that our competitors don't do, folks. You know, your top plate or your truss carrier is very, very important. Most of our competitors use 2x8s out there. We use 2x12 double plate. All right. Engineered cable retention system, which I talk about all the time. Lee does as well, and our building specialist should be. It is superior to anything else out there, folks. Why? Because we interlock all your posts underneath that slab. It's tremendous with uplift. When that wind gets in there through a door or something, it's going to help tremendously with your uplift. All right, real warranty, real engineering. Okay, why choose Mallett over the competition? Well, this is very simple, folks. This is what our competition offers: 6x6 posts, 2x6 truss, 2x6 header, and to be honest with you, most of their 2x6 truss have 2x4 interwebbing. We don't know if their truss is treated or not. Why? Because I've seen several of their bids, because customers bring it to us and they just don't spell it out for you. And I know where these people are shopping from or buying their truss from, and 90% of what they build is whitewood. Okay, so be careful about that. 29 gauge metal, where we put 26. One free walkthrough door, 40-year standard warranty with their metal. Here's what we do: 10-year workmanship warranty, #1 dry kill treated lumber, MCA, ground treated. 2x8 scissor truss, 5-on-12 roof pitch, 2 free roll-up doors, free roof and wall installation, 6-inch seamless gutter and gutter brushes. Okay, 2 3x5 insulated windows, lifetime warranty against termite, rot, rust, and fungal decay. All right, so much we got to go to the next slide. Ridge vents, 6-inch, not 4-inch concrete, 4,000 psi, not 3,000 what our competitors use. Zac Screws. If we put any nail, which a lot of our builders don't, but if we do, it's only for tacking purpose. You know, if they got a whole disc board up on this side and go over there and screw it in, we're going to screw in everything on your building. That's very, very important. Remote picture and video monitor. Okay, we use company cam. We do live and our pictures, our videos. Okay, engineered cable retention system. Again, I'm going to talk about that. We use a 6mm membrane, or visqueen, for underneath your slab. 145 mile-an-hour wind rating, post pads under every 6x6 post, all metal screwed on the wood, post protected skirt boards, the whole 9 yards. Remember, our referral program. If you have a friend out there and you know the quality that we do here at Mallett. If you refer them to us and they buy a building, we're going to send you a $200 check. If you do that 10 times, we're going to give you $2,000. If you do it 20 times, we're going to give you $4,000. But let's go back to the 10th time. If you do that 10 times, I want you to pack your bags, come on down here to the ranch and stay the weekend, unlimited fishing, and you will catch a lot of fish. And Lee Mallett himself will probably cook a steak for you. He does a very good job. I've eaten one or two before, okay? So, oh, here we go. No middleman, no nonsense. This is something that our competitor put out there, folks. No middleman, no nonsense. We saw a competitor mention no middleman, no nonsense at Mallett. We agree. That's exactly how it should be. But here's the difference. We manufacture our own truss in-house at our Louisiana truss plant. We control our supply chain from design to delivery. No waiting on outside suppliers. We have a lot of inventory. We invite you here to come see us. We buy, I've been told by our people that we buy from, we buy more wood than Lowe's and Home Depot, folks. This is serious. I mean, this is how much inventory we have on site, okay? Remember, we will be rolling our own metal come soon. Our engineer team ensures every build meets or exceeds local codes. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just quality backed by our 10-year workmanship warranty and 26 years of business, folks, that we continue to improve every step of the way. You know, we could stop. You know, we've always been ahead of the pack. We can stop and just rest, but why? We want to give the best building for you, the customer. So every time that we see an opportunity to improve one of our buildings, we're going to do that. And you, the customer, benefits, okay? We standardize our 2x8 scissor truss across the board. That is superior to anything else out there. Why wouldn't you want that? That's my question, okay? When we say no middleman, no nonsense, we mean it. That's the Mallett difference. We are the middleman, okay? Now, we got Daryl coming up to you, talk about nailed or screwed. Thank you for your business. Here comes Daryl.
Hey, I'm Daryl, the engineer here at Mallett, and today I want to talk a little bit about the difference between nails and screws. And you know, my kids call me Random Man sometimes because I tell stories and they don't know what the point is, and it all rhymes in my head, but sometimes they don't know what I'm talking about. And so I'll tell you this, you know, I've been in Louisiana my whole life. My great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my grandfather are all buried in a cemetery up around Kentwood. And so, and I think my last name, Fussell, John Fussell, moved to Louisiana back in the 1800s in a wagon. He came from over in the east, one of the eastern states. And so my family's been here all my life. You know, I've been drinking community coffee for probably 55 years. And I really love Louisiana. I grew up in Pascagoula, Mississippi. But the only reason I grew up in Pascagoula instead of Louisiana was because my daddy worked at the shipyard in Pascagoula, but he would come home to Louisiana every chance he got. He graduated from LSU in 1958, and the year they won the national championship, and he was shipped off. He was in the Army Reserves, and so the year that they actually won the championship, he didn't get to see any of the games because he was in Virginia. But anyway, and then I graduated from LSU in 1986, and then I've got two sons that graduated from LSU in civil engineering in the 2000s. And so I'm all about Louisiana, and now the reason that has a point, I can remember being a kid, and a storm would come through the Kentwood, Franklinton area, and I would hear my relatives say that there was tin all over the pastures. And so the tin roofs would blow off. Now, why do they call it tin roof? And maybe we'll talk to that. But you know, tin is, now we call them metal roofs. But there was a day when the metal panels actually had tin. That's why they had tin cans. You might have heard tin cans. But anyway, they would blow off during a storm. And so why did that happen? And now, you know, someone might say, well, they blew off because, you know, the wind blew 200 miles an hour because it was a random tornado. Maybe. But more than likely, the reason that the roofs blew off was because of the way that the roof was connected to the rafters or whatever the roof structure was. And you see the same thing when we have hurricanes that blow through Louisiana from time to time. You'll see these barn roofs, they'll just fail. They'll blow off. And so the reason that happens is because of the way they're connected. And in most cases, those barn roofs are nailed to the rafters. You know, the way a barn is typically made is they'll have rafters at 36 inches on center, maybe 24, but probably 36. And then they'll have one bars running across those rafters that are nailed with maybe a 10 penny nail, maybe a 12 penny nail. And then the roof itself, the metal part, will be nailed with just a small nail, you know, a 6 penny nail maybe. Well, that nail doesn't have a lot of pull-out capacity. Now, anybody that looks at these two pictures, the nails and then the screws, now you can tell that a screw is going to have a lot of more pull-out capacity. Why is that? Well, it's because of the threads. It's obvious. And so people just don't understand how critical it is to screw the roof panels in rather than nailing them. And this chart, now I try to find things to simplify it. So if you take a 16 penny nail, now this is in Douglas fir because that's the only thing I could find. It would be higher in southern yellow pine that we have, but a 16 penny nail, this is National Design Standard for wood that has all these complicated formulas that nobody wants to hear about. If you run all that through, it'll give you a pull-out capacity of 40 pounds. Okay, that's for a 16 penny nail. Now, look back. Okay, so that's a pretty big nail. Next time you're in Home Depot, you'll look and you'll see that most of the time when you build stuff, you use a 12 or a 10. Very few 16. So it's 40 for, let's just call it a big nail, the pull-out capacity. Now, if you go to a number 8 screw, see, a number 6 screw is 141 pounds compared to 40 pounds. A number 8 screw is 168 pounds. And we use number 9 screws, so they're a little stronger than the number 8. But you can see that it's 4 times stronger. And, you know, the first time that I realized this was a lady hired me because a city was harassing her. She had built a small addition on a very modest residence, and they had installed her roof with nails, and they had installed the roof panels with nails. And when I looked at it, and when I did the calculations, I had to tell her they're going to have to put some screws in that roof, or it won't pass, because of this chart. The pull-out capacity is so low. Now, so the reason this really matters with a storage building or with a metal post-frame structure is that the wind, and I've told you this before, when you get the winds of a hurricane and the pressures of a hurricane, it's like the whole structure is kind of doing this. It's moving in and out. There are tremendous horizontal forces on the walls. There are tremendous uplift forces on the roof. I think it was Hurricane Laura that hit Lake Charles a few years ago. My sons and I, we did a lot of inspections after the storm, and we found that in many homes, the brick veneer was actually pulled away from the house. You could walk up to the brick wall and you could push on it. And that just shows you these horizontal loads. So you have these tremendous horizontal loads. Well, if you've got nails resisting that horizontal load, you don't have a lot. In fact, what happened likely to that brick veneer, they were installed, and you know how they install brick ties most of the time. They bend them, and then they'll knock them into the stud with a little roofing tack. Well, that roofing tack has very little pull-out capacity, and so that's why the brick veneer failed. That's why roofs failed. So the good news is here at Mallett, we use screws. We don't use nails. Now, what's interesting about it is the shear capacity of nails versus screws is very similar. But the shear is not what we're talking about. Then that's not the loading that we're talking about, except up at the top, at the headers or the truss carriers. And we'll talk about that another time, the kind of connections that we use for that. So, in general, nails versus screws. Screws are better, especially for these forces that we have when these storms come to Louisiana. So that's what today's talk was about, and I'll see y'all next week, all right?